Welcome everyone to the SSG podcast. I'm your host Chris, and I'm here with Mitch. How you doing, man?
Howdy ho, partner.
Hey, man. So, man, this is going to be an interesting episode. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. We have essentially what we're going to call a No Man's Sky retrospective coming up. But first off, we want to kind of touch up on some housekeeping. Thank you to everyone that has... Yeah, I'm going to continue to say this as we go from episode to episode, right? Thanks to everyone who's actually listened to the show, who's supported our show throughout the month and a half that we've been doing this. This has been a fun ride thus far, and we hope to continue making these episodes for you guys. Last time I checked, we were still at somewhere around 230, 233 Twitter followers. We thank you guys so much for that, and we want to also let you guys know that, so as I said, like, this is going to be like a No Man's Sky episode. We're just going to devote this entire thing to No Man's Sky. On July 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, I will personally be live streaming No Man's Sky next, because it comes out on the 24th. And Mitch may join me. He may not. We'll have to see what happens. I will be live streaming from 10 p.m. until 1 p.m. Or, well, not 1 p.m. Well, 10 p.m. until 1 a.m. Unless my internet decides just to crap out on me and I can't do it again. So I'll try to get at least an hour's worth of live streaming in. But my plan is to go 3 hours. So, and if Mitch joins in with us, then we'll have a good old fun time. So,
yeah, I should be joining in.
So yeah, because we both want to be able to experience this this No Man's Sky stuff and to really be able to see what the new changes have been. I've played it a little bit since before, or since the past 3 patches have come out. And Mitch, you've not played it really since day one, have you?
Nope, I played it about the first week and then dropped off.
Right. So yeah, I think a lot of people actually dropped off with the whole thing. It was to a lot of people, it wasn't the game that they were hoping it would be. It was a lot of, exploration and just ambience,
Right.
but it wasn't much of a goal. You had to get to the center of the galaxy, or the universe, or however they played it out to be. But once you got there, there wasn't that much there.
Yeah, that's actually what turned me off to it. I did one of the branching quests. I forget what it's called now, but I was staying away from all the articles online. That way I can find out what the center of the universe was. But fortunately, my friend spoiled it for me. I was like, wow, that makes me not even want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it was. I was one of the. I think I've said it in a previous episode. I was one of the early adopters to this entire game. That was one of the. I gave into the hype. I fed into the hype. It was such a big deal to me, all this hype, and yeah, I was disappointed. Let me tell you, I was disappointed. It wasn't
understandable though.
Well, yeah, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I still think they had a great foundation for something that they could expand on, and that's the purpose of this episode. So what we're wanting to do is this week is to kind of go down the memory lane as far as the patches and the things that they've released leading up to next, and we'll also give a bit of a rundown as far as to what they're going to be having on or including in next. There may be other things that we don't exactly touch on because we're recording in the past. Come 24th, there may be more things added to the patch, but we assume this is what's going to be. So, without further ado, this is the intro. This is the No Man's Sky retrospective, which I also want to note real quick. We're not talking about games that released last week because absolutely nothing came out. So,
right,
it was 3 games that came out. Probably the best one of them would be Tempest 4000.
Okay.
So 75 on PS4, 73 on Xbox One. But, yeah. So anyways, moving on. So
yeah, the big thing this week is obviously the big update for No Man's Sky and
Yeah.
the launch on Xbox.
Yeah, the fact that it's coming out on Xbox One is huge.
Right.
I actually know a person who's really into No Man's Sky who actually they actually swapped over from PS4 to Xbox One, the trader, and and they said that the pre-order was like for only $50.
Yeah, not bad.
So pretty cheap. Consider. I mean, I guess they could have made it a little cheaper because this game's been out for almost 2 years, but still, I think they cutting $10 off of the actual price is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, as much work as they put into this post-launch, it deserves it.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And I think you, the listener, will agree once we actually read through all this. Yeah, we're not going to read through every single stuff. I'm going to try to touch on the big things from each of these patches, because there's tons of little tiny details. This team has been working. Hello Games has been working their butts off for the past nearly 2 years.
They have. So
we're just going to touch on the big changes that have come to the game over the course of since you said it came out like August 9th or something like that.
August 9th, 2016.
There we go. So the first update the first big update was update 1.1. This was called the Foundation update. I'm looking at everything, by the way, through their website. I'll link if anyone's interested. I'll actually give a link to all these updates in their or in the description, because I think this is fascinating just to see where the game was at and then seeing where it is now. I think is a big deal.
Absolutely.
So one of the big things they implemented was game modes. So you had the normal mode, which was for just the regular game experience, a creative mode that allowed free exploration, and they call it creative freedom. There wasn't that much creative freedom in the game at this point, I don't think, but you could essentially just play. It's like creative mode for Minecraft in a way. And then survival mode, which made the game a little more harder, essentially like a hardcore mode.
So for creative mode, since I'm not really familiar with Minecraft, at like minimal enemies.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So in Minecraft, there's no enemies. You have access to all the materials. You can fly around in the game, and you can destroy a block with one punch.
Okay.
So in like No Man's Sky, I think it was you had unlimited resources, and you could just go explore. Right, you didn't have to worry about crafting stuff all that much. You could just go and play the game however you wanted to.
Gotcha.
I think it's creative modes are great for people that want to test out the game first before actually diving into it. If they want to, or if they have an idea of like, I want to build a base like this, but I don't want to waste the resources. It's good for test projects like that.
Right.
So Foundation mode or the Foundation update, as suggested, as you could probably guess, in the title, it gave the ability for base building. You could find, once again, I'm reading all this off their website. It says you can find and claim uninhabited bases and settle down on your chosen home planet. Construct modular structures and decoration in exchange for resources gathered while exploring. Teleport to and from your base from space stations with a terminus teleporter. Add storage containers to bases. Build shelters and take refuge from storms and atmospheric damage. And claiming a new base will destroy the old one, refunding all of the resources. So essentially, you could build a base, but it had to be in a specific area.
Right.
But you could build it however you'd want to build it. It's modular, so you can add and do whatever you want. They actually have some really cool pictures on the website that actually showcase all this stuff. It's really neat to see some of the stuff that they actually were able to build, and to give you an idea of what you yourself could build in the future. The downside of this, though, in my opinion, is that it's that one static base. This game is built on exploration.
Yeah.
So even if you find a really good planet, you may find another really good, an even better planet 3 planets down. Now, their concept of this is to be able to say you can build a base wherever you go. But if you've already invested the resources and the time into building this, this one big base, and you have all these storage containers and all that kind of stuff, it's almost like a waste of time.
Yeah, it would be a waste of time, but not resources. Because it did say that when you destroy the old one, it gets all the resources back.
Yeah, but still, though, I feel like it's... Yeah, okay, you get the resources back, but then the time, though, is the big... I guess then the big problem.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
With a game like this, are you concerned about time, though? You know?
I mean, I think with almost any game, you're concerned about time. You've got a limited amount of time to do anything, and if that time isn't spent wisely, then you're going to feel like you've wasted it, and then you're going to get unhappy. You know, you're not going to feel as satisfied when you're playing the game. Sure. So yeah, I think time. I mean, even in this game where you are encouraged to take your time, you're encouraged to go slowly. If you're not willing to go at that pace, then you may come across as you may feel a bit unsatisfied. And if you're not willing to take the time to, construct your base appropriately and actually tell yourself this is the base that I'm building, and regardless if I find another planet down the road, you have to really kind of weigh your options and say, okay, I built this base, I can build it again, but do I want to take the time to do that? But yeah, they added all kinds of like little cool objects, and there's like a slideshow that's showing some of the cool things they added. You get stuff like different doors and different windows and ramps, and you can actually build a landing pad on your base, so you can actually take off and land from your base without expending any fuel, which is a big deal. The other big aspect they added though was farming. So a lot of the resources on the planets and stuff that you go through, you can actually create farms so that you can actually have you can set, so it's like for example, if you find there's a really rare crop, well, you can now grow a bunch of those crops and actually sell those crops for money.
Wow, cool.
And you can also use the various crops for if you need to craft stuff and whatnot, you can build stuff like that for it.
Right.
You could make an actual little campsite type stuff. So you could make automated harvesters. You could deploy various equipment out in the field. Construction terminals. So you could actually leave subspace messages for other people to find. And it says nearby mineral deposits, uninhabited bases, or drop pods can be discovered with a signal scanner. So these are things you can actually craft and place on the ground anywhere. So if you find something and you want to leave a message to someone, well, you can craft this little communication terminal. It beams this little message up into the sky, and so people can come across it and know that you put that there. Yeah, the chances of them finding it though are very small because it's a big. The other big aspect of this is that they included a new spaceship. They actually included freighters in this update, so you could purchase this massive freighter ship that essentially would become like a traveling base.
Now that's cool.
It says on the site that interstellar freighters can be purchased and summoned from anywhere in the galaxy. Freighters expand the travelers, which is the player. Travelers reserves teleport resources to your freighter while on planet. So if your packs get full, then you can just teleport the stuff to your freighter.
Man, that was a pain in the butt again.
Yes. It says stockpile goods within freighters and transport them in bulk to trade in other systems. Customize the base, building sections of your freighter, and build hydroponic labs to grow crops. So so literally this is a floating base. You bring it to another system. It says you can use the new recruitment system to recruit NPCs for your freighter, so you can actually have a crew. And then create expanded cargo holds to increase freighter capacity. So you can store a bunch of stuff on here. You go and there's economy in this game. So one system may, if you're trying to sell this particular item or these crops that you've grown, you're trying to sell them. Well, on this planet they may only sell for this much. or in this system, they may only sell for this much. But if you go another 4 systems over, and you're selling them for 400% more than what they were at the other planet.
Yep.
So, with the freighter, it allows you to store things in bulk. You can store multiple fighters also in the freighter. I think you can store up to 6 fighters. There are 6 ships. I say fighters. There's different kinds of ships in the game, but you can store up to that many. But you can store a bunch of, like I said, you can store a bunch of ships in the freighter, and it allows you to essentially it's the rich man's yacht, because these things are super expensive. They cost millions upon millions of in-game credits in order to obtain. So, like, this isn't something you're going to get like early on.
Right. I imagine it uses a lot of fuel too, right?
You see, I can't comment on that because I've never been able to get one. But I would assume that there would be a massive fuel cost to move these things about. But anyways, there's a lot of extra technologies that they added to this update. They changed around the user interface, which was a big deal. They essentially made it look a whole lot cleaner and easier to view, like to choose things, or to go back and forth between different things that you want to create, or sometimes you got to put stuff into your exosuit to give you more shields or give you more life systems and stuff, and it made it easier to do all that. There was some graphical stuff that they increased, and then there's a bunch of little tiny patch note things. But for the most part, that was the big. Those were the big points for for the foundation thing. So, Mitch, what did you think about what do you think about that? Does that make it sound like the game is like finally opening up?
Yeah, I knew that they were improving it with the foundation update, but I figured it wasn't enough for me to jump back in. But I honestly didn't know half of this stuff came in the update, so maybe that's on me for not knowing. But I would have definitely jumped back in if I'd known all this stuff.
Yeah, from what I've heard from people, it's like these updates have added just enough to make the people go, okay, I'm interested, but I'm not 100% interested. I'm going to wait and see what else they do.
Right. Especially with the first one. They still have that bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, people still have the bad taste in their mouth. They don't trust what's going on, but you can finally build in the game. That was the big thing with the foundation update.
That's awesome.
You can have a base. So moving on from there, we go to what's called the Pathfinder update. So this was update 1.2. Another massive update. So kind of to give a summary as far as what this update was, it says the Pathfinder update introduces planetary vehicles, base sharing, PS4 Pro support, ship/weapon specialization, permadeath mode, and much more. So
wow, permadeath mode.
Yeah. So they did a graphical update with the game. So there's a little more detail added into the textures. The game looks a little bit better. It's not as super bright as it was. They've kind of doled out some of the colors, but it still looks good. It looks clean.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It doesn't look as cartoony. I mean, it's still it's still cartoony, but not as cartoony. And the freaking the rays, the sun rays, is just so freaking good. Like, there's
super clean.
Yeah, there's a slider for one of these graphics things that they have, and before you think you're looking at a bunch of kind of green stuff, like it looks like a green planet that you're looking at or a green moon or something like that. But then once the update hit and you can actually see everything, you realize, like, you can tell the difference between white and green very well.
Yeah, for sure.
The colors don't blend. So continuing on with this, the graphic thing. It's a minor detail, I feel like, to some people, but it's really nice that they're continuing to increase the quality of this game.
Oh, absolutely! It looks gorgeous. Which I like the way it looked before, but still.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad looking game before, but the fact that they were able to get a little bit more out of the PlayStation 4 and of course PC. 'Cause PC is also going to look nice. Or it's always yeah. The PC Master Race, they know what they're about. But then there was online base sharing. That was the next big thing. It says bases can now be shared online, allowing players to discover and explore your outpost. So this was the first step into something of a multiplayer. You could see other people's bases. Like, so you could go to a world, and you're like, oh, this world's been explored, you know? And you go down to that planet, and you're like, oh, look, there's a base. And you could check that base out.
So you have played after all these updates. Have you come across like users' base?
No.
No, that's my concern with it.
It's so massive that I think though you can be invited. I think. It says right here that the Steam Workshop integration allows players to upload their bases to the workshop, making it easy for other players to discover, visit, rate, and subscribe to your creations. So that was a big PC thing.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, for the first time ever, so the freighter. They brought the freighters in the Foundation pack or Foundation update. This is where you could own multiple ships in the Pathfinder update. It says use the enormous hangar in your freighter to purchase and store your own collection of starships.
That's kind of weird though that you could buy a freighter and only have one ship in the very beginning of the Foundation update.
Right, but I think the way they were looking at it was there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with the freighter to begin with. There's a lot of stuff you can take your time with it. I mean, I don't know. It is a little strange, but the fact that they came back and addressed it in patch 1.2, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And the big thing about ships as well, this was the big deal about the starships, by the way. With the Pathfinder update, there's now 4 specializations in ships. So you could have that freighter store various versions of these ships that you use for various different things. So you've got the fighter. That's obvious, right? It's a starfighter. He's going to go around and pew and shoot things. Then you could have a shuttle, which is like an all-around basic craft. The fighter has more combat abilities. The shuttle is more of just a. They say it's a all arounder, but I've got a hunch that they may redesign the shuttle to be more of a transport ship in the future. I just got a feeling.
Think so?
I have a feeling, yeah, because it's called a shuttle. What are usually shuttles in real life?
Yeah, that's true.
Then you've got the hauler, which is good for, moving cargo around. They're
haul things.
Yeah,
U-Haul.
Space. U-Haul in space. Essentially, they have larger cargo capacity, and you can carry some more stuff around. They're not meant for fighting all that much. And then you have the Explorer specialization, which has increased warp capabilities. So their warp drives are a little more advanced, and you can also travel further in those ships.
So, question: are haulers? Are they more of like tankier since they can't really fight back?
Yeah, they have. I think they have their ships are the shields and the armor and stuff for that ship is a little bit more than your typical ship. Yeah, but they're also a little bit slower, I think. So.
Yeah, I imagine so.
So it says here, in addition to new ship types, all ships will now be class rated, so you can get an A, B, C, or an S class ship. Now, the cool thing is you can usually find crashed ships on planets. Sometimes you'll come across, when you land in a space station, you'll see a bunch of ships land at that space station. You can actually trade those ships, trade your current ship for that other NPC ship, if you so happen to like it, and if you have the money for it.
Oh yeah, the credits for it. Yeah.
I've seen an S-class ship before. Like, those are the super rare ships. It was a S-class shuttle, and I didn't want a shuttle. I had a hauler because I wanted to make a bunch of money from just mining.
Yeah.
But yeah, an S-class shuttle, and I think it was like 50 million credits, which is a lot in game.
Yeah, for sure.
But I still, when I saw it, I was just like, man, I probably still would have taken it because it was an S-class.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this update also gave you the ability to, when purchasing a new ship, you'll now be given the option to trade in your current ship for a discount. So that was a big deal. So you could, if your ship was worth 200,000 credits, or units, 200,000, I think units is the...
I can't remember.
I can't either. I know some, like, diehard No Man's Sky fans are going to, like, sack us for that, but what can we do?
Hello.
We're talking about the game. Okay, what more do you want from us? So, yeah, you could go, if your ship was, like, valued at 200,000 units or credits or whatever, then you could trade in that ship, and you would get that discount off of purchasing the next ship.
That's awesome.
Which was also at a better rate than what my current car's value is. Yeah, it's not like as soon as you fly it off the lot, the value goes down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is a good universe to live in. So with this update, they also added PlayStation PS4 Pro support, so you can now play this game at 4K resolution. And then the big thing, I guess you could say, with this update was that there were exocrafts, so land-based vehicles. So you had the Nomad, which was a super fast hovercraft ship that could glide over water. It's more of an explorer's type vehicle. They didn't have a big cargo space. The Roamer, which was I know you've never played Mass Effect, Mitch, which is a shame. But
Played Andromeda.
that doesn't count.
I agree.
There's a vehicle called the Mako in Mass Effect, and this is essentially what the Roamer is to me. The Mako was a terrible, like, the controls of that, the vehicle sections in Mass Effect had terrible controls, absolutely terrible controls. But this thing reminds me of the Mako. I don't know if it controls like the Mako. I've yet to drive a vehicle in No Man's Sky, but the Roamer is supposed to be the all around. This is an all arounder capable of quickly crossing rugged terrain and adapting to most situations. So you got the Nomad, which is the hovercraft, the Roamer, which is just a 4-wheel driving redneck machine, and then you've got the Colossus, which is this lumbering behemoth offers an enormous cargo hold, perfect for those looking to harvest resources. So what this offered you was that if you built a base, because this is what you had to do, you had to go build a base, and you can actually mount mining lasers on these vehicles.
Okay.
And weapons, apparently. But instead of you having to jump in your craft to fly to the next thing and waste fuel like that, you could just pop in your exocraft and just go roaming around the planet, collecting resources that way.
Okay.
Apparently, they also have this thing called exocraft races. So it says, hone your driving skills by building your own race circuit on your home planet. Find the most interesting planet, create a time trial, and challenge others to beat it.
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. But you gotta find someone.
Yeah.
Well, it says players visiting your base via base sharing will be able to race using the circuit you created. So, that would be a big benefit to PC gamers.
Yeah, for sure.
So they also added some new shops and traders. They added a new currency to the game. Nanite clusters, which is kind of a big deal. You could purchase blueprints with nanite clusters, but you can find them all over the place. Um, standing with the three NPC factions is now more important, as traders will only sell the best technology to their closest allies. So the more the higher your standing is with a faction, the more or the better the technology that they'll sell to you.
That was actually an interesting part of No Man's Sky.
What?
Like finding, I forget what they were, but finding little things where you like learn the words. Of
Oh yeah.
Like in the very beginning, it felt like you weren't really doing anything, but like it seemed cool.
Yeah, I when I first played No Man's Sky, I actually played it enough to where I could almost speak to one of the alien races, and I had almost everything fit, like all their words. Yeah, all their words like figured out.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of neat, or like, there was at least enough words to where I could understand what they were trying to say to me.
That's awesome.
So then I think this is the last thing that they added. Yeah, for the most part, they increased the base building customization, so you could do even more, like building stuff. They added more, building options, so you could build more.
It like doubled this update.
Yeah, it was like so you could actually add colored lights, stairs, and observation domes and more. So you can be like a massive tower on your base that you just go up so you can look across and look around the land. It says you can also personalize your base further with new material aesthetics, including wood, stone, and metal.
Cool.
As well as several new colors. There was they added more multi-tool specialization in classes. So they added like this is multi-tool specialization in class have been introduced. Choose between a pistol, a rifle, experimental, and alien specializations. It says pistols offer increased mining capabilities. Rifles provide combat advantages. Experimental weapons are attuned to scanning, and the rarest and most powerful are alien multi-tools. And that similar to starships, they also come in S, A, B, or C class ranks, rated. And then you could also trade in your old multi-tool for when you're purchasing another one.
So did you ever get like an S ranked tool?
Well, no, I never got an S ranked. I think the best I ever ended up getting was a B class. I've seen an A class. Okay. It would have been the pistol variation. It was an A class pistol specialization, but I couldn't buy it. It was too expensive. But I think on my current game, I have a B class.
Okay.
And they also added new weapon modes for these for the multi-tool and ship weaponry. Holy crap, yeah. I'm not going to go through these, but there's a lot of cool stuff. Then you have the permadeath mode, which is just the literal, like, hardcore mode. This is dying in space will now restart you on the nearest planet's surface away from your crash ship. Or no, yeah.
That means you'd have to find another ship on that planet.
No, excuse me. Permadeath mode is you die and you're dead. Your game's over. It says survival mode difficulty has been further increased. Dying in space will now restart you on the nearest planet's surface away from your crash ship.
So, is the crash ship like the very beginning where like you have to go... Because the beginning of No Man's Sky...
Yeah. It's essentially the same thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
You die and essentially you have to kind of start over like that where you have to repair your crash ship.
Okay. Gotcha.
They added a photo mode, so you can now kind of pause the game in a way and zoom the camera out, and kind of take like a picture, so you don't have to. You're no longer in first person. You can kind of take a third person shot, but you still can't see your player.
I'm totally down for that. I love photo modes in games. I spent hours in like God of War and Horizon.
Yeah, there's actually like a really cool shot they have in the section where it shows them like in their starship, and they're actually warping, or they're not. They're sort of warping, and you can see the things flying by them. But they took the picture kind of from the front of the ship, so it's angled kind of cool.
It's awesome.
You can also add filters and stuff. You change cloud layers, fog density, pause and change the time of day for the perfect lighting conditions.
It's awesome.
And then you can share your favorite screenshots with the community using PS4 or Steam sharing functionality. And then there's this photographer who he says that they worked with well-known game photographer Dead End Thrills to implement and improve photo mode. Here are some gorgeous screenshots he took. Oh man, and some of those are like desktop worthy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then they added more improvements to the discovery menu, which is it's a cluster. Like it's, I can't really remember how the old one used to be. I just remember it was just terrible and showing like and telling you where to go.
Oh yeah, it was. It was bad.
This improves it a whole lot more. It actually says your home planet is marked on the galaxy map, giving you a clearer feeling of your place in the universe. Use the discovery page to easily browse planetary information, including resource and biome data. So it actually has the data for the kind of planet that you were on in the system when you finally discover the planet, you land on it, and all that kind of stuff. All the information for that planet is now listed on the screen.
Awesome.
This is previously visited planets can be marked with waypoints, simplifying return navigation. And they added 8 new soundscapes from 65 Days of Static, who did the music for the game.
That deserves a shout out. Stuff.
Man, the music in No Man's Sky is like awesome.
It is.
And then some quality of life improvements, and that's pretty much it. So what do you think, man? Do you think Pathfinder, if you knew about a lot of the stuff that they had added to the game, would this have made you want to jump back into it?
Oh yeah, photo mode alone would maybe want to jump back into it. I didn't even know that until you read that.
You freaking millennial.
That's awesome. I love photo mode. I can spend hours in games just playing with photo mode.
That's all you want to do is just take selfies.
You can't see your person in.
Well, you want to take. What I'm saying, you want to take hypothetical selfies.
I don't really take that many selfies.
Oh well. So compare it to Foundation mode, the Foundation update. What do you think this is a better update?
Oh yeah, for sure. They pretty much took what Foundation was and just kind of like stepped the game up to it.
Right.
Like obviously they added upon the Foundation update with this, where all the materials and being able to build more, the land vehicles, Nomad, Roamer, and then Colossus. Makes it easier to go out and get your stuff, go out and get your materials and resources.
Yeah.
And I just want to, looking at the Nomad makes me just want to like jump into No Man's Sky and just drive around in that thing.
Yeah, just go explore, just see what you can find, kind of a thing. Yeah. I'm not too sure if they added it onto the next update, but there was a particular point where they made it. I think this is in the game right now, where you could call. You can essentially call in your exocraft at any planet you land on.
Okay. Exocraft's just not on the planet, so you have to like buy them and stuff.
Yeah, so you have to construct a certain thing in your base. It's like a landing platform for your ship, but not really. There's a specific thing you have to do. You have to install a terminal, and then you have to go hire a person from the space station to essentially man that terminal for you. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, I can't remember exactly how you go through and get the ability to build it, but eventually you get the ability to build the exocraft.
Okay.
It's not like a thing you can do like super early on in game. It takes a little bit of, you have to spend some time with it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think this was like the massive turning point for No Man's Sky. I think this is when people realized that okay, these developers are being serious about spending a lot of time, improving on the game.
Oh, absolutely.
And if I'd known about this update personally, I would have come back to it. If I'd known about it at the time. But I feel like these updates were no one talked about them.
Yeah. Sadly.
And they deserve to be talked about because I know No Man's Sky, like the Hello Games, Sean Murray made a massive blunder.
Oh yeah.
But look, the fact that they had released 2 massive updates to this game, and that they weren't giving up on their future, like on their dreams, on their ideas, was enough for me to kind of go, I should jump back into this.
I remember at the time, after all like the backlash and stuff came out shortly after the release, Sean and Hello Games just went kind of like Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
And I think the next time he showed up was with the update, saying that like, hey, we disappeared, but we went to go fix our game like you wanted us to.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that I have so much respect for this development team now. Even Sean Murray, because I feel like they recognized the issues, they recognized what was going wrong, and they, people can be mad at them for going silent, but they took responsibility for their actions, and look at the fruits of their labor now.
Exactly. They went and fixed it.
So, but we're not done yet, though.
No, we're not.
The most recent update until Tuesday is 1.3, the Atlas Rises update. So the little summary on this says, Update 1.3 Atlas Rises brings a brand new and overhauled central storyline, portals, a new procedural mission system, trade improvements, system economies, joint exploration, and more. This update marks the 1-year anniversary of No Man's Sky, and a lot has changed. Yeah, a lot did change in this update. So they added a new story. That was one of the big things.
So was it a new story, or
yes.
Like did it take place of the old story, or
yeah, it kind of intertwines with that of the old story a little bit, but it's a whole lot more fleshed out. They're claiming 30 hours of new story content.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
It says, in the Atlas Rises story, the fabric of existence is starting to falter. Mysterious new interdimensional races have appeared. Glitches are causing ancient portals to activate. Our story brings a new context, quest system, and branching narrative to No Man's Sky. 30 hours of new story content, double the lore and interactions of the existing game. Discover the truth behind the abandoned building logs, the world of glass, the sentinels, the redemption of the Gek, and the meaning of 16. After awakening Titan, Atlas rises.
This makes me want to go play No Man's Sky right now.
I'm telling you, right? Like, this is such a good little tidbit of story information to kind of get you into it. And it reminds me of, like, the old Halo stuff. There's just, like, a lot of where they just throw out little bits of, like, information, and you're just like, what does that mean? And it's like, well, you got to play the game to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, another thing they added was galactic regeneration. You know what that means, Mitch?
I have no idea.
Well, I can tell you.
Please do.
It says a regenerated system adds wealth, economy, and conflict levels to star systems. To control this, the galaxy map has been overhauled, improving navigation and providing access to key information. Install galactic technology to be able to filter the map by life form, wealth, and economy. Improved waypointing and navigation allows you to see your journey so far, from beginning to end. So essentially, they made it so you can look around the graphic or the galaxy map a whole lot easier. You can see where you've come from.
Thank goodness.
And you can now easily travel back to where you came from. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. It's a little kind of hard to control from my experience, but it'll tell you about that system's essentially this. It gives you information about the system altogether. So on the little screen that they show here, they tell you that the dominant life form in this particular system they're looking at is the Gek. The economy is power generation, and that it's comfortable. And it says the conflict level, though, is dangerous. So that means that it's got a comfortable economy based off power generation. So the power generation means the kind of... you'd have to go probably look on the wiki, but it would kind of give you an idea of what you would expect, like some of the things that are being sold, like at the shops. But the conflict level being dangerous means that you'll probably run into a lot of pirates.
Yeah. This little update, though, is important. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that you could, well, at least in like the first week that I played, I don't think that you could go back to where you came from. Like, say, like you jumped the solar, like would it be a solar system, I guess?
Yeah, each system, yeah, that's just essentially what it is.
So, like, when you jump the system, you can't go back to that system. You have to keep progressing forward.
Right.
So that was annoying.
Well, with this, they allowed you to go back. It gave you more flexibility to kind of go do what you want to do.
Which is awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So then the next little bit that they added was new worlds, apparently. It says the variety and visual quality of planetary biomes has been improved. Explore rare new exotic planet types as you journey toward the galactic core. So essentially, you can tell when you're in a different biome a little bit easier. So if you're like in a snowy biome or something, you can tell it's a snowy biome. If you're in a very foresty biome, you can tell that you're in a very foresty biome. Everything looks a little different. Like the planet, there's like different areas to a planet now, instead of just everything looking kind of the same.
I like that.
Yeah, it gives more variety to the planets. It says there's also crashed freighters, which is kind of cool to see. I've seen a couple of these things in game. It's massive. They're massive. So discover and scavenge lost cargo from gigantic crashed freighters on planetary surfaces. Use the terrain manipulator to excavate buried resources in the region. Yeah, so there's this thing called the terrain manipulator now. Mm-hmm. You can actually dig holes in the ground.
Wow.
Like Minecraft,
really?
That Minecraft style, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can make like underground tunnels in a way. Like it's not viable, but you can do that. But the terrain manipulator is a special like tool for your multi-tool. You don't get it from the start.
Awesome.
They added a mission system now.
Ooh.
So when you go to a space station, there's a certain area you go to, and you can talk to a what they call a mission listings agent, and there'll be a bunch of missions that you can choose, and they'll tell you what your reward is, and they'll tell you what you got to do. But it gives you a little something else to do in the game. It says visit the new mission agent in space stations to pick up unique and rewarding new tasks. Missions are constantly generated and cater to all playstyles, so scanning, trading, combat, and exploration. New NPC guilds have been introduced, each with standing and objectives. Build your standing with numerous NPC guilds and unlock more difficult and more rewarding missions. So there's a bit of a progression system there, Mitch.
It's awesome. That's perfect for me.
You can now do interstellar trading. What is that, you may ask?
Yeah, that's why.
New economic variables bring new depth to trading between star systems. Star systems are now classed based on their economic strengths and weaknesses. New trade goods have been added. Meet supply and demand by purchasing goods at a low price and hauling them to economically favorable systems. A tiered crafting system allows increasingly valuable products to be crafted by combining harvestable materials. Gas harvesters have been introduced, allowing explorers to extract valuable elements from a planet's atmosphere to use in crafting. combine crafted products to create increasingly valuable items that can be sold on the galactic marketplace. New maintenance interactions have been introduced for all harvesting equipment, bringing more depth to farming, mining, and harvesting.
Neat.
Essentially, more stuff for you to do.
Yeah.
So the analysis visor has also been recalibrated. You get better rewards for scanning. It also shows more information, which is wonderful. This is like one of my most favorite things that they've added to the game.
Yeah, the screenshot that they provide on the on their site, that is just perfect. Like the UI just looks amazing.
I just love I love information, and just the amount of information you get from this thing is just wonderful.
It's perfect.
It's like everything is just told like right out from the gate. You also know like the local minerals that you get. You also know this, the species that you're looking at, how far away it is, the age, the gender, the temperament, the diet, the weight, the height. Because you can sort of tame creatures in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And also gives you an idea of the temperature. Just every little thing, just boom, right there in one. All on the same screen. It says the specialized analysis visor upgrades can be equipped to further improve effectiveness, which is just yes, just give me all the information.
Yeah, thank you so much.
They added some more stuff to the user interface. There's now a new mission log, which is helpful. Discovery page gives a clear and visually improved view of your journey. So mission logs are just like individual tasks that you do. The discovery page, your journey, so to speak, is like what the actual game is, like the main storyline. It's essentially like you've got your side missions in Fallout, but you got the main storyline that you also take part in. Journey milestone page has been updated to show progress toward guild-specific milestones, just giving you all the pages and all the information and storing everything all neatly and stuff, so you're not just wondering what the crap you're doing and floundering about.
The UI looks so clean.
Mm-hmm. They've come such a long way from where it was.
I love it.
So depth of field has been added as an option in photo mode as well as NPC interactions.
Yes, please.
I actually really like that. Instead of everything being blurry. Yeah. And then numerous environmental props and assets have been improved with high resolution textures, making environments seem more high fidelity. So essentially what that just means is that everything, even rendered out further away, still looks like it's of a higher quality polygon. So here they are just constantly improving their own system.
Yep.
Like, come on. Because this is all custom made stuff that they have going on here, and they're just constantly improving upon it. And like I said, you're just trying to get every little bit of power out of the PlayStation that you can. PC users, you already have all the power.
It's true. Master Race.
Terrain editing.
This is what you touched on earlier.
This is exactly what I touched on earlier. It says transfer the ground beneath your feet using the new terrain editing multi-tool enhancement. Add or remove terrain to mold the landscape as you see fit anywhere on any planet. Choose from a number of materials, shapes, and sizes to sculpt your unique creations. Form terrain around your base to make it feel like part of the environment. Now, how cool is that? How cool is that? You make your base, right? And you're like, I kind of want to incorporate like some aspects or make it feel like it's part of the actual planet. And you can do that with this tool.
And you can create a basement.
Sort of. I don't think it works quite like that, but...
Oh, I'll make it work like that. All right.
Yeah, I bet you would. You can... Now there's portals in this game. It says ancient portals can now be activated. Revisit previous planets, other bases, or jump randomly to new worlds. Learn the language of portals. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, imagine you're just like, I'm going to go jump in this portal, and boom, you're now like in a random new galaxy or something.
That's amazing. I love that.
Learn the language of portals by unlocking mysterious glyphs as you journey through the universe. Interact with the portal and input a specific combination of glyphs to quick travel to a specific planet. Share glyph combinations with the community to help others travel quickly to specific planets and points of interest. There is a website out there of people that are trying to get all this information. So if you come across a portal, you can you can go to this website, and I can't remember what the website is. But you can go and they actually have the information so that if you find a portal and you want to go to this specific planet, you can type in that input and it'll take you there.
Awesome.
Improved space combat. A number of improvements have been made to spaceflight and combat. Enemy artificial intelligence has been overhauled and new difficulties have been added. Ship maneuverability has been improved, bringing more skill to dogfighting. Devastating rockets can be equipped to ships, so you can have rockets now. And then a new HUD has been introduced to improve the experience of space combat. This includes a communicator, which can be used to advance mission steps or even hail pirates before they attack. Let me tell you something, man. Space combat in this game is hard.
It is. It really is.
I've yet to actually destroy a ship in space combat in this game.
Me too, actually.
So, I guess it's just because I just don't have a good enough ship, or, I just need to learn how to get good because I'm a scrub. But still, it's fun.
Pirates are actually intimidating.
They're very intimidating. In fact, if I come across a pirate and I'm just like, no, I'm going to go after you. I'm going to go attack you. And I start shooting at it and I immediately regret my decision.
Yep.
So they also added the ability for low flight, which this was a big deal when this came out. It says atmospheric low flight assist now allows players to cruise above the terrain. Low flight and improved flight control make in-atmosphere dogfighting more lively and exciting. It says warning, crashing into obstacles will cause damage to your ship. If your ship is destroyed, you'll need to repair it before leaving the planet.
It's cool.
Joint exploration. It says glitches in the simulation have begun to appear. Simulation? This is all simulation?
Everything's a simulation, Morty.
Oh boy. It says visualized by strange floating orbs, up to 16 players can see and communicate with one another and explore the universe together. What?
Yeah, what?
While interaction with others is currently very limited, this is an important first step into the world of synchronous co-op in No Man's Sky. While interaction is very limited, voice over IP allows proximity-based voice chat with other nearby explorers. Use portals to quickly travel to more populated planets or to meet up with friends. So this was the precursor to multiplayer. You could interact with others, but everyone would look like these little floating orbs.
Interesting.
So you could go explore, but you couldn't really you couldn't truly interact. But right. You could talk with people though.
They're basically like ghosts from Destiny.
Yeah, I would actually think it's more like the Dark Souls system.
How do you figure?
How you can see people online. You can technically kind of interact with them a little bit, but not really.
You can play co-op in Dark Souls.
Well, no, you can play co-op, but I'm saying I thought you could just sometimes you could see someone in the game doing something or whatnot, but it's they were as a ghost figure or something.
Yeah, they're ghost figures. They're not orbs though. You get to see the actual player.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just thought it was similar to that.
I can see that. You like Dark Souls randomly?
Yes, but I'm a chicken and I don't like playing really hard games, so.
Gotcha.
I've watched a Let's Play of the first one and second one, and I think they're fantastic games. The lore is incredible.
Oh man, Bloodborne's my favorite Soulsborne series. Woo! The games are very, very difficult.
Yeah. If I ever get the remastered version of Dark Souls on Switch, then I may give it a proper playthrough. But until then, I'm just gonna keep what is it? I'm just gonna give it praise and adoration from afar.
I'll give it to a close up.
Yeah, I know you will.
Mm-hmm.
They added some new ships. So new Class S ship designs. So now the Class S ships look like even better.
The two they provided look awesome.
Yeah, those images are just fantastic. Like especially the one on the right. I love the little design, like the logo. It looks like on the top of it.
Yeah,
just how it just looks like there's gold and stuff like that on the different it's like accent.
Amazing.
Yeah, it looks really cool. The temperature measurement has been converted from Celsius to Fahrenheit based on locale.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, America. You can now summon your ship from anywhere on the planet's surface using your quick menu.
Awesome.
That was fantastic too. That right there was like, thank you.
Don't have to run back and find your ship.
Oh, it was the worst thing.
You're telling me, dude, it sucked.
Specific technology and cargo inventories have been added to improve inventory management. So now you can actually have cargo storage on your person. Cargo storage just means you can hold more stuff.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 players can now adjust their field of view via the options menu. Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
I love FOV sliders.
Same.
Jump between systems from the comfort of your freighter. Just interact with the hologram on the bridge and select the location to travel to.
Cool.
And then landing your ship no longer auto-ejects you from your cockpit. Take time to survey the planet before exiting.
That's awesome.
So those were all the big things for Atlas Rising. What do you think?
That's a really good update.
Most of it is placed on the story aspect of things.
Yeah,
but still, 30
touched on everything else. It just made it better again.
30 hours of new story content, so they say.
Yeah. Between all three of these, I'm itching to go and play this game right now.
I know, right? Like after hearing about all this stuff, you're like, I kind of want to go explore now and see what all this is about and stuff. But see though, Mitch, that's not everything though.
I know.
Because come Tuesday, July 24th.
What's next?
So this is according to a Forbes article by Eric Kane. He lists everything you need to know about No Man's Sky next. He said the following changes are all according to Hello Games. In any case, here are some of the big changes that Hello Games have outlined. Multiplayer.
Yes.
Perhaps the biggest change is the full implementation of actual multiplayer gameplay. You can now team up with friends to explore the myriad procedurally generated galaxies, worlds, and space systems. This was something the developers said would be in the game at launch and wasn't, and it's nice to see it finally implemented. Hopefully it works well. Fingers crossed. So here's the details though on the multiplayer. It says you can team up with a small team of friends and explore the universe together, or be joined by random travelers. No, I don't want no randoms in my group.
You're right.
You can help friends to stay alive or prey on others to survive.
Nice.
Does
like that.
Does this mean we're going to have nothing but PvP now?
Maybe.
I really hope not. I hope there's more. I hope they give
Maybe
you.
there's an option too.
I hope so. Like you have to flag yourself to kind of go into PvP mode or something. Because
maybe it's scarce, kind of like Dark Souls is.
Maybe. It says tiny shelters or complex colonies that you build as a team are shared for all players.
Awesome.
It says fight as a pirate or a wingman in epic space battles with friends and enemies. Race exocraft across weird alien terrains, creating racetracks and trails to share online. So they're expanding the racetrack stuff. Character customization allows you to personalize your appearance. We finally get an appearance. We finally look like something.
Yes.
There's also a big visual overhaul. Apparently, it says the game is fully playable in third or first person, both on foot and in ship.
Yes. I love third person so much.
I may be playing this game a lot in third person as well. Planetary rings and improved space visuals make space more beautiful than ever.
And I believe every word that says.
Dramatically improved planetary terrain generation, ground textures, water and clouds bring the environment to life. So, even more beautiful planet graphics.
Another update, another visual update.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Significantly more detail added to ships, NPCs, and buildings. Unlimited base building.
Go on.
Do you hear me? Unlimited base. Bases can now be built anywhere on any planet.
Wow.
Dramatically increased base building complexity and size limits. Hundreds of new base parts. And you can own multiple bases.
It's like they take all of the complaints each update and they just improve upon them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I wanted this game to kind of be like a Minecraft in space.
I'm getting that vibe now.
I mean, let me tell you something. I'm going to make me a wonderful base as soon as I get the opportunity to, and I don't care. I want to build a bunch of bases. That's all I want to do is build bases. Another aspect, another big bullet point is you can command freighters. Here we go, Mitch. Assemble and upgrade a fleet of frigates. And command them from the bridge of your freighter.
Yeah.
Send your fleet out into the universe or deploy them to help you as you explore a specific system. Improved freighter base building allows a truly custom capital ship. And invite your friends aboard and take on challenging multiplayer missions from the Galactic Commission Station on your bridge.
This is awesome.
So that was the gist of the entire update.
But it's huge.
I want to make Star Fox. I want to be Star Fox. I want to be Rob64, and I just want to tell everyone good luck as I send them off into their next mission to destroy Andros. Oh my gosh.
So awesome.
Although, I will add this little tidbit. There's a funny little jab that Eric Kane makes in the Forbes article. So he says next will be the 4th major update to No Man's Sky, and then he puts in parentheses. Then all we need is a battle royale expansion.
Okay.
I don't think they'll do that. They better not do that.
Please don't do that. I like battle royales. Please don't do that.
But what do you think, Mitch? Is this right here? Is this now feel like a game that's worth jumping back into 100%?
This feels like they released a trailer. I don't know exactly when they released the trailer, but I watched the trailer and I was like, "What is this?" So I actually clicked on it. I didn't know exactly what it was, and then I saw that it was No Man's Sky because the trailer is mostly in third person. So I was like, "This looks awesome," and I was like, "Oh, it's No Man's Sky," and it's a free update if you already own the game. I'm pretty sure all the DLCs are free, right?
Every update has been free.
That's insane.
You don't see
how much they've improved the game. It's insane.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, maybe after this update, they come out and say, okay, the next expansion is going to be like, DLC or something like that. But let me tell you something, man. After all these updates that they've made, all the improvements they've made to this game, dude, yeah, take my money.
Yeah. They deserve it.
I mean, the fact that they've been able to make multiplayer a legitimate thing, to make base building unlimited, the fact they added base building in the game, and now you're going to be able to have a freaking fleet of frigates at your disposal. Like, man, it just, if this all works out exactly, as we've read, this is going to be amazing.
Yep. It almost sounds too good to be true, but I believe it's going to be true.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be true as well, because the last 3 updates that they've given us has been just, no other developer has done something like this. No other developer has just said, you know what, we're going to hunker down and we're just going to keep making free updates for the game. We're gonna win back the community with the quality of updates we make, and I think they're doing it.
They've got me back on board.
Wonder real quick if Steam player counts might not be on here.
Only way to find out.
Let's go search for No Man's, and then we'll just keep going to the pages. Nothing here. No Man's Sky is currently number 85 on the top games of SteamCharts.com.
Is that like player base?
Yeah, the current players right now of No Man's Sky is 3,468 people.
Wow.
The peak which it doesn't tell you when the peak was, but the peak was, or actually no, I think the peak is like the last 90 days, or last 30 days. Within the last 30 days, they've had a peak of 5,248 players. I think that's what that means.
Right. You have to imagine it was more at the highest peak.
But if I can be honest with you, though, dude, this is something interesting here. So if that's currently, that would be yesterday, day before. We'll go 5 days back. Okay, we'll go 6 days back. So 6 days ago, they had 29,000 hours played. Like for all the people that played, right? 29 hours or 29,000 hours.
Okay.
I mean, that's nothing because like on the same day, Elite Dangerous had 91,000 hours played, and Elite Dangerous is number 79 on the list. So it's only six places. Move up six places, and that's where Elite Dangerous is. You go the next day, it goes from 29K up to 43K. You go the next day, you go from 43K to 46K. 46K to 51K. 51K to 74K. And up till right now, it's at 90.7K.
Wow.
People are anticipating this freaking expand or update. You can call it expansion, you can call it an update, whatever. So,
well deserved, though. My goodness.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is honestly, if anyone's listening who's not jumped into No Man's Sky, this is the time to get into it. This is the time to join in, get your friends, involved. I know, I know the jokes were made way back when this game came out. This game is nothing like the game that came out. There's more depth to it. There's more things to do. You don't just travel to the center of the galaxy or center of the universe. There's more things that you can interact with. And now you're going to be able to play with your friends and actually form little communities together. Come on. And you can be Star Fox. Who wouldn't want to live out their dream of being Star Fox? I mean, I want to go take down Andros. Wouldn't you want to go take down Andros?
Let's go take down Andros.
Let's go take down Andros. So that's what I'm gonna say, guys. On the 24th that night, I'm live streaming, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time, unless my internet decides to fail on me. That's happened before. And we're gonna our mission, our goal is we're gonna try to become Star Fox. Probably won't happen.
We'll die trying.
And I'm not gonna start over a new game unless it forces me to.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna use the same game that I'd actually been working on a little bit, progressing with. And honestly, if you want to be able to know when the live stream actually goes live, then you should follow us on Twitter, which
yes.
I'll end up tweeting out before I go live. But for the most part, yeah, guys, this is going to be huge. This is going to be massive. I can't say it enough. I'm excited for this.
I'm very excited for this.
You don't get developers who do this kind of stuff anymore.
You don't. It's very rare. It's
So,
actually extremely rare.
I mean, if you think EA is going to ever do something like this, then you got to be kidding me. These companies want to nickel and dime you for everything, and I'm telling you, I think No Man's Sky this year is going to be like the, oh crap, what is it? It's like the comeback game.
Comeback of the year.
Comeback of the year, most improved game ever of all time.
I'd probably put it up there for sure. Without it being a sequel or something, for sure.
Yeah. So, please, everyone, go check this game out. This is going to be awesome. And that honestly does it for our No Man's Sky retrospective, touching base on every little big point that's come out since the Foundation update, since the game released. There's really nothing else as far as news goes, outside of one little tidbit I want to add, which is World of Warcraft. You don't have to buy the game anymore.
Nope.
You just got to be subscribed.
Yep.
But that makes me wonder then, does that mean that when this next expansion comes out, if I'm subscribed already, does that mean I get it for free? Because they've been pushing like the pre-order stuff like pretty hard.
That's interesting.
I'll have to look into that. Because I'm still subscribed to World of Warcraft. I went another month because I'm kind of still enjoying it a little bit.
Hey, you're right just as fine to me, man.
We'll see what happens. But anyways, so also I can't remember if I touched on this when we first started up. There may not be an episode next week, simply because I'll be out celebrating my birthday, and I probably won't be able to function very well from all the cake that I'm going to be eating. I don't really drink all that much, so I can't say that I'll be like, I'm not gonna be drunk. I'm just gonna be drunk on cake, ice cream, and cream sodas. But
good birthday.
It's a fantastic birthday. That's how I celebrate my birthdays. But so there may not be an episode next week, guys. But to make it up for you, I'm gonna try to do as much live streaming personally of No Man's Sky, starting like with the live stream this Tuesday. And I may do another one on Thursday. I'll let you guys know if I go live, just to make up for the fact that we're not going to have an episode then. We may not have an episode then. I'm going to say there's like a 70% chance that we won't have an episode. So we're just going to be taking a little bit of a break. We're going to be enjoying No Man's Sky, and we want to enjoy it with you guys. For anyone who actually listens. That's so dark.
Are you out there?
Is anyone out there?
Hello.
Hey, you. I'm sorry. I was going Pink Floyd.
Nah, I was going to Dell.
Yeah, that works.
Good mashup, though.
That was a pretty good mashup. Interesting stuff. But no, so thank you guys so much for listening. Mitch, you want to plug those social media links, so if they want to both follow us and also keep up as to when the live streams occur?
Absolutely. You can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/SSG podcast. We most frequently use Twitter, which our handle is at SSG podcast. We respond a lot there and tweet out a lot. If you want to listen to the podcast, however, you can find us at Spreaker.com/Chris and Mitch. We are on YouTube. Just use the search bar and type in SSG podcast. We should be the first one that pops up.
And which, by the way, real quick, that is probably where I will be streaming.
Is YouTube?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are YouTube accounts where I'll be streaming. If it ends up being something different, like I said, follow our Twitter account, and I'll let everyone know.
Right. Also, we're on most bigger podcast services. We're on iTunes, Google Play. Are we on Spotify?
We're still waiting for the directory to be built. I can actually double check right now and see if we're on Spotify, though.
Okay. Either way, we should be on Spotify very soon, nonetheless. So yeah, that about does it for the social media. If you guys want to actually play with us or anything, I'm not sure how big. Did it mention how many players you can have? Probably like 4.
I think it's at the 4.
Okay, yeah. So if anybody wants to hop in with Chris and I when we're streaming or whatever,
we are we are officially on Spotify. This is cool.
Woo! We did it, boy. Just hit us up on social media and we'll respond. Obviously, and we'll try to link up and play some No Man's Sky together.
I mean, yeah, if you can find us, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't. My thing is I don't give out my my like gamer tag just to anybody.
Okay, you can join me and then just join off. Fine.
Maybe. I mean, if we can get a community going, that would be fantastic. But I'm just saying. I've experienced like friending people that you don't really want to friend. I'm not saying the people that listen to us are bad people. It's just I have trust issues. I'm paranoid.
I'm gonna make a fake account and play with you now.
No, because I wouldn't accept your friend request.
Until you see that floating orb beside you, then you're dead.
Floating orbs are shooting at you.
Oh no, the fire's shooting at us.
No, it's gonna be like Guilty Spark from freaking Halo. It's like, what are you doing? But anyways, guys, we thank you so much for listening to us, and like I said, we will not be here next week. In case you guys don't know when that is, that is the weekend of the 28th and the 29th. Technically, we would release on the 30th, but we won't be around then. But we should be back though the following weekend, which would be August 6th-ish.
Yeah, August
something
6th.
Something like that. So come join us, guys. Come play some games. Go play some games. Go play No Man's Sky, and we will see you guys later.
Have a Mitchell one.